The shape in the dust. The lawyer arrived at my apartment reeking of sage smoke. He refused to sit, clutching a manila envelope to his chest like it might bite him. "Your brother left you property in Arizona," he said, his voice tight. "He insisted you burn everything on the land." Everything, when I asked why. He flinched. The Navajo call them Yinaldlushii. Skinwalkers. Your family. They've been tangled with those things since the 1800s. The drive to the trailer took me through the heart of the res. Gas stations sold bundles of juniper branches and silver dust labeled protection. An old woman at a trading post pressed a clay pendant into my hand. "For the hungry shadows," she muttered. I laughed, but kept it. The trailer was worse than I'd imagined. Rust ate through its walls, and the porch sagged under the weight of a dozen sun-bleached animal skulls. Inside, Tom's madness screamed from every surface. Maps of the desert were pinned to the walls, marked with symbols, spirals where mineshafts collapsed, red X's near unmarked graves. A locked trunk beneath the bed held relics: a jar of teeth, a doll made of human hair, and a film reel labeled, "Don't watch." I should have burned it all. Instead, I slept. The dogs came at dusk, but they didn't arrive alone. I'd been unpacking Tom's rusted lockbox when the first howl split the air, a guttural, wet sound that echoed through the canyon like a dying man's scream. By the time I reached the window, they were already there. 6 of them. 7. 12. Their numbers blurred as they circled the trailer, their bodies flickering in the fading light. They moved in perfect unison, heads lowered, shoulders hunched, but their eyes were the worst, not the yellow of desert strays, but a sickly, phosphorescent green that pulls faintly, like embers buried in ash. Their gazes locked onto mine through the glass, unblinking as their jaws hung slack. No tongues. Just rows of jagged, human-like teeth glistening with a black, oily substance that dripped onto the sand and hissed where it landed. I threw open the trailer door, shouting, hurling a rusted wrench at the closest one. It didn't flinch. The metal passed through the dog as if it were smoke, clattering harmlessly into the dirt. The creature tilted its head, its neck bending too far, too fluidly, and let out a sound that froze my blood, not a growl, but a low, distorted mimicry of my own voice. "Run," it rasped. "Run, run, run, run." I slammed the door, but the handle began to twist. The knocking started softly, tap, tap, tap. 3 raps on the door, 3 on the window. I grabbed the rifle, my breath fogging the glass as I peered outside. Nothing but the moonlit desert. Then the shadows moved. A figure crouched in the dirt, its spine curved like a question mark. It turned its head slowly, too slowly, until its face pressed against the window, a grotesque mockery of Tom. His eyes were gone, replaced by hollow sockets oozing black sludge. His lips peeled back, revealing teeth filed to needles. I shot through the glass. The thing screeched, collapsing into a pile of ash and beetles. But by dawn, the ash had reformed into a handprint on the door. 5 fingers. Too long. Too sharp. I followed the claw marks into the canyon. The desert heat warped the air, but the deeper I went, the colder it grew. A crevice yawned open, its walls studded with petroglyphs, horned figures flaying humans, wearing their skins like cloaks. Deeper in, the beam of my flashlight caught something glinting, a mask. Not leather. Skin, human but stretched and preserved, the eyelids stitched shut with horsehair. It hummed, a sound that vibrated in my molars. When I touched it, visions erupted. Tom, screaming as a shadow peeled his face like fruit, a woman with antlers, chanting as she sewed his skin to her own. Me, wearing the mask, hunting beneath a blood-red moon. I ran, but the cave exit was gone. "You shouldn't have come here," Tom stood behind me, whole and unharmed. But his voice was wrong, a chorus of whispers layered beneath his words. "You're dead," I choked. "Dead?" He smiled, his gums black. "I'm better now. No more pain. No more fear. Put on the mask, and you'll see." He lunged, his fingers elongating into talons. I slashed with Tom's bone knife, slicing his arm. Instead of blood, sand poured from the wound. "You can't kill what's already gone," he hissed. The mask glowed in my pack, whispering promises. The skinwalkers cornered me at dawn, 3 of them, their bodies a shifting collage of animal and human parts. One wore Tom's face like an ill-fitting suit, the skin slipping to reveal scales beneath. "Join us," they crooned. "Wear the skin. Feast. Live forever." I gripped the mask. To refuse meant death. To accept meant losing myself. Then I remembered the film reel. In the trailer, I projected it onto the wall. Grainy footage showed Tom in the cave, trembling as he pulled the mask over his face. His screams shook the speakers as the skin fused to his skull. Then silence. The camera panned to a mirror. Tom's reflection smiled, his eyes pools of tar. "It's the only way," the Tom on screen whispered. "Wear it, or they'll wear you." I lit the trailer on fire. Flames devoured the journals, the relics, the film reel. The skinwalkers howled outside, their forms warping in the heat. The mask in my hands writhed, its stitches snapping. "Don't," Tom's voice shrieked. "You'll doom us both." I threw it into the inferno. The explosion knocked me into the dirt. When the smoke cleared, the mask clung to my face, searing my flesh. I clawed at it, but it held fast, tendrils burrowing into my veins. Visions again. The skinwalker's origin, a witch, cast out by her tribe, who learned to steal life from the living, generations of my family, lured to the desert to feed them. Tom, sobbing as he carved the bone knife, his last act of defiance. The desert is quiet now. The skinwalkers are gone. Or perhaps I am one of them. The mask is part of me. Its whispers a constant itch in my skull. I hunt coyotes to sate its hunger, their blood cooling the fire in my veins, but the pendant from the trading post still hangs around my neck. Some nights, I press it to the mask, and for a moment, the voices stop. Tom visits my dreams. "Break the cycle," he pleads. "Destroy it." I try, but the knife won't cut my skin anymore. They found me in Phoenix, raving and feverish. The doctors removed the mask surgically, but I still feel its roots inside me, coiled around my bones. The woman at the trading post sends letters now. "Come home," she writes. "The land misses you. Last night, I woke to hoofprints in my apartment cloven, burning the carpet. The window is open, the desert wind carrying a familiar rasp. We're waiting." I keep the bone knife under my pillow, but deeper down I know the truth. The mask wasn't destroyed, it's growing back.